The final season of Squid Game is causing controversy. Many fans were disappointed by how everything ended, while others defend the director's work. But who is right? We will find out. Today on Charlietales, we'll review the good and the bad of Squid Game Season 3. Ready? Let's begin. My first good point is the message of the season. Each season of Squid Game has had a clear message. The first season was a metaphor for capitalism and showed us how the system can pressure people into doing terrible things. On the other hand, the third season focused on human nature and the different sides of humanity, from the darkest to the brightest. Each character has a nature of their own, which can hardly change, and the series showed us how that nature guided their actions from beginning to end. For example, we have the pregnant player. She entered the game with the goal of giving her baby a future. Her whole story revolved around that, and her ending respected that idea. She sacrificed her own life so that her baby would be safe and have a chance with Gi-hun. But there are also darker characters, like Dae-ho, who was always a liar and a coward. He portrayed himself as a good friend to Gi-hun's group, but only manipulated them to survive. In his final fight with Gi-hun, he tried to stab him by surprise with a hidden knife. He was a liar from the beginning and stayed that way. The season focused heavily on showing each person's nature, and there's no better example of this than Gi-hun. He started the series as a good man, poor, a failure, but a genuinely good person. After the first tournament, he changed. He became darker, but still tried to save everyone in Season 2. The frontman wanted to corrupt him, to prove that people are evil and that even someone good like him could turn bad. The final temptation came right before the grand finale. Here the frontman offered him a knife. With it, he could eliminate the players in the dorm and win the tournament. If he accepted, it would prove that everyone can be corrupted. With that, the frontman would have won. But no, he didn't accept the deal. When he won the final, he only had two options: throw the baby into the void or throw himself. Gi-hun chose the second option because of his nature. He was always a good man and always will be. The frontman could never corrupt him. He knew he didn't have the power to destroy the games, but at least he could send a message. We are not horses. We are humans. We have dignity. We can choose to be better. With his sacrifice, he proved that there are still good people in the world. The frontman saw this sacrifice and accepted his defeat. That's why he abandoned the organization. In summary, Season 3 focused heavily on showing every facet of human beings, how there are dark, ambitious, or cowardly people, but there are also good ones. That was the message of the season, and for me, it was excellent. I've read many people hated this ending, but on a symbolic level, it's very powerful. Many of us wanted Gi-hun to destroy the island with an army or something like that, but he was never meant for that. Gi-hun is not a soldier or a killer. He's just a good man, and he proved it until the end. My second good point is the villain. Here I want to mention the YouTuber player, MG Coin. This character became the villain of the season, and I can assure you he was spectacular. It's been a while since I've seen such a detestable character in a series. He started the story as a selfish and ambitious man. He abandoned his pregnant girlfriend and only cared about money. Many of us thought he would change, but when the grand finale came, he only showed his true nature. He was manipulative and calculating to eliminate players in the final. Many believed he was doing it to save his baby. But then he showed us that he never cared about his daughter. He was willing to sacrifice her to save himself and take the money. That was really dark. During the games, he had several chances to change, but he wasted them. For example, in the maze game, he had a plan to eliminate someone and then find his girlfriend to protect her. But instead, he gave in to the temptation of money. He started eliminating many blue players to increase the prize money. As a result of this decision, he ended up eliminating player 120 by mistake. It was all because of ambition. The same happened in the grand finale. In the penultimate round, he had already won alongside Gi-hun. They just had to reach the last platform and eliminate player number 100. But again, ambition got the best of him. He preferred to eliminate the old man earlier to increase the prize money. The YouTuber thought he'd be safe because there was still an injured player left to eliminate. But he didn't count on that player throwing himself, so the whole problem was born out of his ambition. He could have left alive with his daughter and the money, but ambition always defeated him. He never changed. He was bad from start to finish. As I said in the first good point, the season focused on showing us each character's essence. This man was evil from the beginning and never changed. Seriously, I'm reading a lot of comments from people hating this character, and they're right, because the character is horrible. He is a despicable man and a clear example of the worst of humanity. I must applaud the director for building such a dark character for the season. Seriously, I thought he'd turn evil to save his daughter. That would have been justifiable. but I didn't think he'd go so far as to use her as a tool. That's another level. If I think about it, in all the seasons I haven't seen anyone as evil as him. He would easily make it into a top villains list of the series. Excellent character, and not just for his evilness. At various moments he proved to be cold, calculating, and smart to win. He's like a new version of Sang-woo, but more evil. At least Sang-woo in the end sacrificed himself for his mother and friend. MG Coin doesn't have a shred of kindness. Now let's go with my bad point of the season, which is the ending. Let's be clear, the ending of the series left many loose ends, and several ideas were left unfinished or poorly connected. For example, the police officer's storyline. It's not possible that this character spent 3 years looking for his brother, and when he finally finds him, he only gets a 2-second dialogue. This is outrageous. This character did nothing in 3 seasons. The officer didn't arrest anyone, never uncovered his brother's secrets, and couldn't even understand his motivations. I feel like I wasted time watching his story. Plus, he never even reunited with Gi-hun. At the start of season 2, these two characters were brought together, and it seemed like they'd do something together. But in the end, it went nowhere. The officer doesn't even know if Gi-hun survived or not. This character was a total waste, and it's quite unfortunate. Another unresolved storyline is Gi-hun with his daughter. Since the start of the series, it was shown that Gi-hun wanted to talk to her, but didn't dare to. In the end, the series ended, and they never reunited. At the very least, Gi-hun should have left a letter to his daughter, explaining that maybe he couldn't come back. But no, the director almost completely forgot that storyline. If it weren't for the frontman, we wouldn't have even seen the girl. Another example is Gi-hun's relationship with the frontman. In season 2, the frontman posed as player 001 and pretended to have a great friendship with Gi-hun. Because of this detail, the betrayal at the end of the season felt so painful. Now in season 3, the frontman took off his mask in front of Gi-hun and revealed his identity. This scene had all the potential to be very powerful, but Gi-hun didn't mention anything about the events of season 2. He didn't ask why he had to pretend to be his friend. They didn't talk about it at all. This confrontation was highly anticipated, and they didn't take advantage of it. I could spend more time explaining other examples of unresolved storylines, but we'd stretch this video too much. In conclusion, Squid Game Season 3 is good. It has excellent moments, incredible characters, and a top-tier villain. It also conveys a great message about the struggle of ideals. However, the season fails a lot, in closing the ideas it introduced from the beginning. As a season, it's excellent, but as a series finale, it's somewhat mediocre. That's all for today. If you liked the video, you'd really help me out by leaving a like. That would be legendary. Also, remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. Thanks for listening. My name is Charlie, and I'll see you in the future.